James Lynch here for Home of Fight. Always great catching up with my next guest, David Onama, and he's got a huge fight coming up here. Going to be taking on Giga Chikadze, UFC Kansas, April 26th. It's a bit of a homecoming here for him. Dave, how's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going real good. Thanks for having me out here.
Yeah, of course. It's great to talk to you, and let's talk about this fight and how it came together, because I remember hearing about you fighting Chikadze for quite some time. When did this come on your radar? Because obviously we're talking about a fight April 26th, but I remember hearing about this fight like earlier in the year, and it was just a matter of what card it was going to be on.
Yeah, so my manager called me about this fight last month. He's like, "Hey, I have a big opportunity for you. I think it's a great fight for you. It's a ranked guy, and I feel like it's a good the next step for you." And I didn't even ask who it was. I was like,
"Wait, good
opportunity.
Ranked? I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking any opportunity. I didn't know who it was at first, and then he told me who it was. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is huge. This is huge." It's like I always knew I was gonna fight Giga. I always knew.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I heard the news, I wasn't really surprised. I was just I knew this day was gonna come. I kind of manifest this moment, So
really,
and it's
okay.
Here.
Why him specifically? Yeah. Just because of the style matchup, or why? I know if you look at the rankings, there's only so many fighters that are available. But why did you feel like you would fight him?
So before I got into the UFC, he's always fight, and I was just like, one day when I get into the UFC, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna end up fighting Giga. Mm-hmm. And the day came, I knew I was gonna fight him. I got the fight offer now, and I've been watching Giga for a long time. I'm a huge fan of his. Guy's an incredible fighter, and it's awesome. The opportunity I get to compete with him, in my home in Kansas City, can't turn that down.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. It's really cool that it's all kind of come together. By the way, when you manifested this fight and it came to fruition, did you then manifest winning lottery ticket? Because that would be good too, right? If you're predicting things that happen, maybe you should see what else comes to fruition, right?
Man, if I can win that.
There you go. It's all good. Don't have to worry too much. And yeah, I guess, the other thing was the plan for you always to be on this card? I'm sure when you heard about it, you probably put your hand up and you're like, hey, get me on this card. Cause obviously people know that that's where you're from originally. Obviously you live and train in Colorado now, but you were in Kansas City for a very long time.
Yeah. So UFC came to Kansas City twice, and I never got on the card. I was supposed to fight on the last card that was in Kansas City, but my manager couldn't find me no opponent. So they're like, look, just wait. When UFC goes back to Kansas City, we're going to try our best to get you on. And then the fight got announced for April 5th, and I was already scheduled to fight Giga on April 5th. And no. I was supposed to fight Giga on April 5th, and then I hit up my manager. I'm like, hey, I heard this UFC Kansas City card going on. Can I fight on that card? And then he's like, yeah. I'm like, you promised me, you got to get me on there. So he hit up UFC's matchmaker Sean Shelby, and then Sean Shelby got it scheduled for the.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you were supposed to be on 314 then, because that's the big card then, and then your manager obviously worked some magic and got you on this card, right? So shout out to Iridium Sports and Jason House doing his job. That's great. So.
April 5th was the original date.
Oh, sorry, April 5th. April 5th's the week before. That's Emmett Murphy at the Apex. So you got out of the Apex and got with the crowd. That's even better. So.
Yep. So even better. My home city. Yeah, man, it's just awesome. I get to fight my hometown.
Yeah.
Have all our family out. So I'm looking forward to it.
How many people are hitting you up for tickets?
A lot of people.
I bet.
Everybody blowing up on them. How can we get tickets? I'm like, I don't even have tickets. How can I?
Yeah. No, I know that always happens whenever fighters have fights lined up close to home. Everyone just thinks you're Ticketmaster or something. So let's talk about Chikadze. Obviously, a kickboxer, someone that's got some really good striking. Just your style against his. How are you looking at this matchup?
Yeah, he likes to strike, and I like to strike too. He's big on kicking. But I'll face a lot of guys that that has that background of kicking, kickboxing and whatever. I'll fight David Benitez, and if you want, go watch that fight. You know what I mean? I fought a lot of guys that are good with the kicking, with hands, whatever it is. I feel comfortable with fighting those guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can compete with anybody, at this level. It doesn't matter if it's, striking, wrestling, kickboxing, whatever it is. Like, I've been here and I proved to everybody that I belong, in this division. So.
How much do you factor in as well? I think people forget Chikadze's a little bit older. You don't think of it because he was on Contender Series, but he is like, mid 30s, late 30s right now, and he hasn't fought that much. I know there's been injuries and other things. Like, how much do you factor that in the fight? I know you're going to expect the best version of him, but I'm sure in the back of your mind, you're also like, this guy doesn't really fight that much, right?
Yeah, but I don't look at it like that, man.
Yeah.
I don't look at it like the age or this, that, whatever he has going on, but I never look at it as the age thing. He's been in the game for a very long time, and I want the best Giga. I'm not going there fighting, I'm not looking at going there fighting, how old he is or, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not worried about the age, you know what I mean? Like, I want the best Giga, I want, I want him to have a good fight camp, be ready, stay healthy. Like I said, I want the best Giga. I'm not going there worrying about the age, so. Yeah.
No, well said. Well said. Take me through camp. Obviously, train over there at Factory X with some of the best. Use Zalal. Is it just business as usual? Who are you mainly working with over there?
Right now, I've been working a lot with Jonathan Martinez. He's a kickboxer also.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yep. Yusuf is he's out of the country right now. He's in Morocco right now.
That's right. And it's Ramadan too, so I'm sure he's back with his family. That makes sense. So okay.
My main partner has been Jonathan Martinez. Great kicker. He's a kickboxer, so I'll be working a lot with him. And yeah, man, fight camp been pretty long for me. Like, it's been so long. Like, I was supposed to fight like next week, and now I have to wait,
a couple more weeks.
4 more weeks, 4 or 5 weeks to fight. So
okay.
Yeah, it's been a long camp. Like, I'm ready to fight. But this is like the best camp I've ever been in. Like, I feel healthy. Like, cardio feels good. Like, I'm sharpening my tool even more since the fight got pushed back. So it's good. It's good that, it got pushed back a little bit more. It gives me more time, but I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
That's good. So. Is Chris Gutierrez in camp too, or are you just training with Martinez?
I'm training with Chris and Martinez.
Okay, cool. But, I was wondering that as well, because I know obviously Chris is another guy that's got some pretty good leg kicks and good kickboxer as well too. So that's another asset to have. What about your corner? I know Cody Brundage has been doing a bunch of the cornering now. He's been more on the coaching side of things. Will he be in your corner? Who's going to be in the cage with you for this fight?
Well, I have Mark, my coach, Yusuf, and then I have my coach from Kansas City, Zach Cummins.
Oh, no way. Zach's making it up for this one. Great. Okay.
He's out there in Kansas City.
Well, yeah, he's at Ignite. I know he's training the guys over there, so that'll be nice to have him. Because I'm trying to remember, was he in your corner for your last fight? I couldn't remember that.
Last fight? No, I don't think he was.
Fight. Yeah.
Not in New York. No, I forgot which fight he was in.
Yeah, but he's just such a wealth of knowledge. I mean, everyone knows he's a veteran. He's been there forever. And I know coaching has gone really well for him, just talking to some of the guys that he trained. So that's a good asset to have. And good to see Yusuf will be back in time. So that'll be good to have him in your corner, right?
He comes back on the 15th. I'm not for sure, but I think he's come back on maybe sooner. I think the I don't know, either the 12th or somewhere around there. So
yeah, I was gonna say, because you guys are like Batman and Robin. You guys train together all the time. You guys are same division, right? So it's nice to have someone like that's in your weight class, right?
For sure. Yep.
How's this fight playing out on April 26th? I think this is going to be fight of the night, man. This looks like a really, really good matchup they've added to this card. So how are you seeing this one playing out?
Man, I feel like I always tell you, I always come out and do what I do. You know what I mean? I don't go in there think I'm going to knock him out or TKO him or get the submission of the night, whatever. I don't look at it like that. Just go in, do what I do best, go out there, have fun, and just get my hand raised, and of course it's going to be fight of the night because you know how I fight. So I'm trying to make this fight a little easier for myself, because every fight that I've been in is always fight of the night. Like, I'm excited. Fans want to see me fight. I'm a banger. I'm excited. I get the fans what they want to see. So yeah, I'm looking forward for April 26th, Kansas City, my hometown. For the fight, fight of the night. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Week before you, there's that. I think it's a week before you, if my math's right here. But they go out the UFC 314 card. That's a big event in Miami. I know it's not your weight class, but just curious your thoughts on that Michael Chandler Paddy Pimblett fight. Big one in obviously the lightweight division. Who do you see winning that fight?
Man, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Chandler.
Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, Chandler's gonna pull it off.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, it's fair. Yeah.
I know Paddy too. Like Paddy, you can't count him out. Like, yeah, he talks a lot, but he'll always back it up. Damn.
You going with Chandler?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Chandler.
and then what about the main event? Big one in your weight class. Obviously, we're gonna have a new champion because Ilia Topuria vacated his title. It's gonna be Alex Volkanovski, the former champ, taking on Diego Lopes, who's taking the belt. Do you think?
Man, that's also a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Make the best man win. I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a tough one to pick. I agree. It could be. I mean, again, there's the school of thought that Volk, he's been knocked out twice. Can he take another couple punches? We'll see. And then there's the other side where Diego Lopes, the 5 rounds he hasn't really experienced that. So if the longer the fight goes, you'd have to think that favors Volk. But we'll see what happens in that one. We talked about the opportunity that's here. This is probably the biggest name you fought in your career. I think hardcore fans, they love watching you fight. They know who you are. Do you feel like a win here, especially like a finish? This could be kind of your coming out party at 145 because this seems like a really good opportunity. It's in Kansas. You're going to have a lot of eyeballs on this fight. Is that kind of how you're looking at it? Not looking past the fight, obviously, but I'm sure you thought about what a win could do for your career here.
Yeah, like I said, this is the big opportunity for me. Giga's ranked number 11th, and I feel like I put him away. I'll be like up there. I don't know who I'm with next after this fight, but I know it's a big. I'll be like it'll be a big step for me. I don't know who would be like the next opponent for me, after Giga. Like I say, man, whoever it is, I'll be ready for it. I belong in this division. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna talk too much about that because
you got to go out there and do the task at hand. That makes sense. Well, here's something I was going to ask you, and again, maybe this is something we could talk about after the fight. But have you and Yusuf talked because you guys are both in the same division? He's kind of on the rise like you are as well. In terms of like how he's performing. Obviously, he got a really big win over Calvin Kattar in his last fight. Is that a conversation you guys have had, being like, hey, we'll only fight if it's for the belt or anything? Is that something you guys have discussed at all?
Oh no, we don't even. I would never discuss anything like that. I was the best. He was the best for me, and like you said, he's climbing the ladder. I'm climbing the ladder too, but we're just like helping each other out,
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, it's there's so many fighters in the division. I just know that it's just interesting because both of you are kind of on the come up at the same time. You train at the same gym. So I just thought, wasn't sure if that's a conversation yet or not. So I mentioned it there. We have a vacant title fight coming up in your division. What do you think about Ilia Topuria moving up to 155? Do you think he'll be successful up there? Because that's a big jump up from 145.
Yeah, I feel like Ilia can compete at 155, man. Like, the guy's big. I heard he walks around like 180-ish. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. I feel like he can compete at 155. Yeah. I feel like boxing and how heavy he walks, I feel like he can compete. But yeah. I don't know who fight next, though. I don't know who he's going to fight next.
Well, that was going to be my next question. If he did fight Islam, do you think he can defeat Islam? Because I mean, he's got the knockout power. He's also got, I think people forget too, he's got a really good ground game. He actually has more submission wins than knockouts. Do you think if they fought that he would win, or do you think Islam would still have his number just with his dominance at 155?
Oh, man. I mean, Islam been at 155 for a long time. He's been showing everybody that he belonged there. Like, he's beaten a lot of people. And then Ilia going up a weight class. I don't know, man. I think that's a tough one. I think Ilia can pull it off if he plays the game right.
Okay.
Or the card right.
I like the honesty there. Okay, before we go, we were talking off air that you were wearing the Von Deutsch hat, which is something I haven't seen since like the 2000s. It was a big hat brand. I think it looks cool now because it's like a vintage thing. But after this interview, you got to watch the documentary, and then our next interview, I want to know what you think about it because it's just crazy, all the behind the scenes stuff that's happened. So next interview, we'll definitely talk about that. Does that sound good? I want to get your review on it.
I will, for sure.
There we go. There we go. Dave, thanks. David, I should say. I keep calling you Dave. You're not Dave. You're David Onama. So appreciate you taking some time, man. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Man, I just want to thank you for always having me on your show. Shout out to all my fans out there that's going to be watching this. And yeah, that's it. Appreciate you guys for the support.